The trucking industry has a huge problem with time management when it comes to their drivers. They'll let a driver go home, but they want him back in 34 hours as soon as the reset time is up. 34 hours is not a weekend at home. Or they'll leave the driver sit on the road unpaid for a 34-hour reset. Nobody wants that. Or they've got these ELDs telling the driver when they're good to go again, and the driver gets up at 3 a.m. and there's a snowstorm or some miserable condition he can't drive in, but the ELD and the boss are demanding that he go. Time management is a real issue for a lot of truck drivers, and they get fed up with it. They want a normal job with better hours, and they walk out the door. The trucking industry is full of liars. They're systemic liars. It's just part of the industry. And you just can't lie to people and keep doing it and expect to get away with it. Drivers are like anybody else. They don't want to be lied to. And if the dispatchers or the management lie to a driver often enough, they reach a boiling point, and that's it. They walk out the door. Huge amounts of unpaid waiting time. Now, it's been calculated that the average over-the-road truck driver spends 20 hours a week at loading docks, and receivers and shippers are waiting in the shop for hours that he is not paid for, hours that he is not compensated for, because the company works on a per-mile system for the pay. And drivers are fed up with losing all this time. When they calculate all that lost time out that they were unpaid for, it adds up to weeks every year. Lots of drivers figure that out, and they say, you know what, that's enough of that. No more free waiting time, and they walk out the door. And the pay has always been an issue in the last 20 years with drivers. If they're paid by the mile, they figure out how many hours they've been at work. They divide that into the paycheck that they get, subtract the money they've spent on food to live out in the road, and all sorts of drivers out there, when they get the final number, they realize that they're working for less than minimum wage. Now, maybe a single guy can survive on minimum wage or a wee bit less, but a guy with a family absolutely cannot survive on that. And to top that, he's gone weeks at a time. All sorts of guys with families look at the situation, they look at the checks, they look at the time that they're away from home and go, you know what, that's enough of that. Or their wife says, you got to get a better job. And they walk out the door. Drivers leave because they feel they're being given a lack of respect. And this problem amplified itself through the pandemic. Imagine, and lots of you did this, run hundreds of miles every day through all sorts of weather with loads that were important because people needed the cargo that you had on board, and you run hundreds of miles, you get to the receiver, and they won't even let you use the washroom. Or you're not even given a thank you for a job well done. Or you're not even given a pay raise by the carrier for working through this pandemic and endangering your health. Drivers need to be treated with respect. All sorts of them leave the industry and walk out the door because they're not respected the way they should be, and they walk out the door.